It's good to have you join us on AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital. I am Merciful Ajinomo. Today we are bringing you a special package on a Nigerian who was honored twice on the same day for excellence by Leadership and Business Day Group Nigeria. We're talking about no other but Professor Suleiman Elias Bugaro, the Executive Secretary of TETFund Nigeria. Here in AD4 TV Radio, we call him the man who sees tomorrow for a greater Nigeria. Please stay tuned.
AD4 TV Radio, we focus on education with emphasis on research and innovation, science and technology, women and girl-child education, children, health, youth and sports, socio-political and economic reforms, security, environment, entrepreneurship and entertainment. We'll give you information at your fingertips. Learn on the go. Follow AD4 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. AD4 TV Radio, reliable and credible.
We love you, AD4 TV Radio.
You're welcome back. It was an occasion of glitz, glamour, and pageantry as Nigerians converged at the International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria, for the Leadership Conference to celebrate some of the country's most prominent sons and daughters. Taking his place on center stage alongside many of the most recognizable public figures in the country was the Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund TETFund, Professor Suleiman Bugaro. He was one of the recipients of the prestigious Leadership Public Service Person of the Year award. The award is the outcome of a long and tedious vote-based endorsement and selection process for Africans who are contributing towards promoting the continent and bolstering Africa's image. In his acceptance speech, Professor Bugaro dedicated the award to President Muhammadu Buhari in gratitude for the platform to showcase the capacity which earned him the Leadership Award.
I just felt I should make a remark that has virtually been made, and that is, it's very rare in Nigeria, if it has happened at all, at the level it happened January 21st last year, when after 3 years I was disengaged by this government, and Mr. President reviewed the circumstance on request and concluded that it was done in error, and I was unprecedentedly returned to the very same seat that I was removed 3 years earlier. You better imagine what that means. God has used Mr. President, as I said previously, to give me a medal that perhaps no Nigerian had ever carried. For this, I want to dedicate this award to Mr. President and the federal government of Nigeria for finding me worthy of being reinstated. But beyond that, to thank my wife and son. But you couldn't imagine, since I returned, leadership said I've done so much in deepening research and speaking about R&D that I believe represents the future of Nigeria. At a time coronavirus is threatening the world, we can only solve those problems through deepening of research. That is what I've been doing with the support of all my staff at TETFund. That's why we have so many directors. Thank you, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen.
Chairman of Leadership newspaper Sam Nda Isaiah, while speaking at the event, said that all the nominations were thoroughly interrogated and extensive research was done before reaching conclusions on the winners.
Every nomination is interrogated, both intensively and extensively, within the context of the nomination, and sometimes additional research is done before conclusions are reached.
Dignitaries at the event include Nigeria's former Vice President Mohammed Namadi Sambo, former Bauchi State Governor Adamu Muazu, and the Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Julie Okadunli, who also received an award for the Government Agency of the Year. It is said that great leaders must master two things: how to repeat success patterns and overcome failure patterns. A journey down memory lane revealed how these patterns define the award recipient's life. On the 6th of June 1958, in a humble town of Gwaranga, Bogoro local government area of Bauchi State, a child was born who quickly showed a passion and flair for education. He was named Suleiman Elias Bugaro Between 1971 and 1976, young Bogoro had already travelled beyond his ancestral home in search of knowledge. Beginning from Wari Primary School all the way to Boys Secondary School Gindiri in the present Plateau State, where he obtained his West Africa School certificate. His gifted green hands made him a natural choice to study agriculture at the University of Maiduguri, where he earned his first degree. But he was only just beginning. What followed was a long, glowing career in the academics, punctuated by even higher degrees and honors. He joined the Federal University of Technology, renamed Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Faculty of Agriculture in 1984, as a pioneer graduate assistant. Suleiman Bogoro would later top up his qualifications with a Master in Animal Science from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, in 1988, and a PhD in Animal Science from Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University in 1997. With hard work and dedication, Bogoro continued to rise through the ranks and was ultimately elevated to the rank of Professor of Animal Science in 2003. One would be excused to think that he would rest on his oars. However, his career took a dramatic turn by 2004 when he was appointed the pioneer director of the NIMET-supported Agro-Meteorological Center, ATBU. His abilities as an astute administrator also saw him serve as chairman of the Governing Council Federal Polytechnic, Nekede. Professor Bogoro has served his country on so many levels, including as a member of the Presidential Committee on Livestock Feed Formation, the Committee for the Establishment of the Bauchi State University, and as the Executive Secretary of Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The professor was originally appointed to lead TED Fund between 2014 and 2016, during which time libraries of public universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education were aggressively funded and modernized, just as publishing of books by lecturers were supported with fund. More profoundly, he introduced the Department of Research and Development in TED Fund to show the way and convey the message that the future of our universities is not just in theoretic journals but on innovation. No wonder he has been nicknamed the Apostle of R&D.
We've noted that, in fact, TED Fund until very recently did not have a research and development department until the Executive Secretary, Professor Bogoro, came back, and that was when he put his foot down and established a specific Department of Research and Development, Centers of Excellence.
He is also an inventor with 2 patents being evaluated: a rumen fermentation model and a modified re-entrant rumen cannulation surgical technique.
All we want to achieve is to, the rumen fermentation, the rumen is biological science, you knew it in those days. We talk about some animal with 4 stomachs. And you know the chambers, they have 4 chambers of the stomach. That is correct. Cattle, buffaloes, call it sheep, goats, and so on. The rumen is the largest component. And it's fermentation, the environment is anaerobic, essentially. And it's that aspect that we looked at the metabolites. In other words, the breakdown, the biochemical breakdown products, as we call the metabolites, from them. And put a number of factors, including, of course, the pH, the osmotic pressure in the system, and so on and so forth. So we defined it in that particular model in a way that if you understood what they were consuming, the grass, the proteins that went with it, you are able to understand the proportions.
In January 2019, the federal government reappointed Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro as the Executive Secretary of TED Fund to complete his tenure, an assignment he has resumed with much vigor. It would be most interesting to see what he has in store. He is happily married to Justice Yelin Bogoro, and they are blessed with 3 children. That's it on AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital. You can join the conversation on our website, www.ad4tvradio.com. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube page at AD4TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Many thanks for watching. I am Merciful Ajinomo.